Welcome to the Dixie Belle YouTube channel. My name is Amy and I'm from Flip It Furniture, and today we're going to be making over these two side tables. I got these side tables for free from a friend. She was attempting to flip them herself, but they look intimidating. They look like they're in rough condition. She did start sanding the tops, and then she sort of gave up because she thought it was too much. There will be a list of all the products I use and where to buy them down in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. Now let's flip it. I brought these outside and continued sanding the tops. The tops are veneer, and because they've already been sanded so much, the veneer is really thin. So I did end up sanding through some of the veneer. Now this changes my entire project. All those little black spots I can't sand off because I don't want to sand any more veneer off. So at this point, I feel like I have two options. I can either paint it or I can use Dixie Belle's No Paint Gel Stain. No Paint Gel Stain is an excellent option for a project just like this. If there's some flaws in the wood, if you do 2 or 3 coats, it'll actually cover it. And I will show you how. I'm using the No Paint Gel Stain with the applicator pad in the color Walnut. I do my first application in long strokes going along with the grain of the wood. You can wipe excess stain off when you're using No Paint Gel Stain, or you can just sort of rub it in. And I'm gonna choose to rub it in and then leave it for about 2 hours, and then I'll apply my second coat. I'm looking for this to be really dark because I need it to cover the missing veneer. So if you had just wanted it to look like this, you would just apply 1 coat. But since I'm trying to cover flaws in the wood, I'm gonna apply a total of 3 coats. Here's 2 hours later, and it's a little streaky and I can still see through, so I'm gonna apply my second coat, and I'm gonna do my second coat in the same exact way, except I'm gonna be a little bit more careful than my first, because I find that when you're using it, exactly how you apply it is how it dries. So I wanna be careful and apply it in nice long lines. A couple hours later, it's dry. I go back out and it looks great, but I think it needs 1 more coat. This third coat, I'm not applying a ton of the stain because it's already colored. Now I'm just trying to get a nice even application. I just want it to look like there's no streaks or anything like that. After the third coat, everything is covered. Everything looks even. It looks really nice. So I leave it overnight to dry. Now it's the next day and I need to clean the rest of my piece because it is filthy. So I'm using Dixie Belle's White Lightning Cleaner. Make sure you put on some gloves, and then I just pour some warm water in a bucket and then dump a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons, and then I just mixed it up with one of my craft sticks to dissolve the powder, and then I just take a rag and I go for it. I just scrub the entire thing down. I even do all the drawers and the insides now so I don't have to come back and do them later. I do anywhere where there's dust or grime. It just takes all of it off. When you're done cleaning, you want to go in with water and a rag and just make sure you have no cleaner residue left on your piece. So now I need to protect the top before I start painting, and to do that I'm going to apply 1 coat of Dixie Belle's Gator Hide. I'm using the Gator Hide sponge to apply it, and it is so easy. I'm almost shocked that it's this easy compared to a brush. I loved using the brush, but I'll definitely stick with the Gator Hide sponge from now on. And before you apply your Gator Hide, you might want to get a tack cloth and make sure that there's nothing left on your piece of furniture like hair or fuzzies or anything like that, because your Gator Hide will lock them in your piece and you don't want to have to bother with that. I just apply a little bit of pressure when I'm using the sponge for Gator Hide. It just helps give it a nice finish. I have about 10 to 15 seconds to work with the wet gator hide, but after that it starts to overwork, so you just want to make sure that it's nice and even in maybe the first 10 seconds after applying it. And if it's not, you just go back and you fix that with your second coat. Now I need to wait 2 hours before applying my next coat, so I'm going to put my supplies in a Ziploc baggie and let them sit in there for the next 2 hours. And while I'm waiting, I'll just go back down to the base. I am giving it a nice scuff sand on both of these tables. I'm just going to lightly scuff sand the entire bottoms. I'm not trying to take anything off. I'm just roughing it up a little tiny bit. You only have to scuff your piece up when you're using the silk paint, and that's what I want to use on this. So a light scuff sanding and it's ready to be painted. I chose the color Endless Shore for these side tables. It's a white, but it's a little bit on the warmer side. So I would say there's a pure white, there is a warmer white, and there's a cooler white. This one is definitely a warmer white. It's just a tad on the warm side. And I'm using my Dixie Belle Mini to apply the paint. My brush is completely dry. And just like I did the stain, I'm also just going to go in long strokes. Dixie Belle Silk is a primer, paint, and top coat all in one. I was looking for a flip that I could finish in a day. The no pain gel stain did have to dry overnight, but in total, my whole project was only a couple hours long. And that's doing 2 side tables, so I really like the silk. I'm really loving it. The coverage is great, and no primer. Instead of doing 6 coats, which would have been 2 primers, 2 paints, 2 top coats, I only had to do 2 coats. So here my first coat is dry and I'm going in with a second coat. And that's all I will need. I work on a lot of furniture, so I'm really excited to have this paint as an option when I'm using solid colors. So now, just for the little beveled detail, I am going to use the French tip brush. This brush is excellent for getting in this tiny little detailed line. Because I've sealed the top with gator hide, if I do end up getting a little bit of the paint on the top, I can just wipe it off really quick. And you want to do it really quick because the silk definitely dries a lot different than the chalk. The chalk, you get a few minutes. The silk, you want to do it immediately. And now we're all set for our last coat of gator hide. I'm using gator hide because it's a little bit tougher than just a regular top coat, and because these are side tables, they might go on the ends of someone's couch, so I can see someone putting maybe a glass of water or something like that on top of these quite often, and we really don't have to worry about it ruining the finish because gator hide is also water repellent. So I just feel confident when selling pieces like this when I know that it's protected with gator hide. I did have to replace the hardware because one piece was missing, so I had some knobs at home and I just switched them out. And here they are with a fresh new look. I love how easy this makeover was and how I got it done so quickly. The finish is nice and smooth. And you remember the before look? Yikes. Here they are now. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you again on the Dixie Belle YouTube channel.